YouTube? It's Chelsea the Destroyer, and we are going to watch a new Shoe0nHead video. Female Gooners must be stopped. What did I do? I'm kidding. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Decide for yourselves. Grab your snackies, grab your bevies, let me know what you eat and drink down below. Let's get to watching.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
I love your very obviously fake bookshelf background. You can see where the fabric is like, it's like a curtain. You don't have this secured or clipped very well, and I love that for you.
What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 5-star reviews, this book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok, or BookTok as the kids call it. Thousands and thousands of women in particular have been raving about this piece of literature. What piece of literature is it?
Oh no, she was talking about me. I'm just not on BookTok, I'm on fanfiction talk. No! I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything. I mind my own business. I just have a not safe for work Twitter that sometimes I go on. It's fine. I'm not hurting anybody. No. No.
You may ask. Well, Morning Glory Milking Farm.
The monster fuckers have gone mainstream. Alert! Alert! Warning! The monster fuckers have gone mainstream! Oh my god.
Popular romance novel about a woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She starts an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
That's right. The Morning Glory.
I read a lot of manga, man. And manhwa. Listen. Okay, listen. That's not even that out there.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
If this book is trash, then I am a fucking raccoon. Give.
I love this woman. I don't know anything about this woman. That's amazing. If this is trash, I'm a raccoon. Bless. Bless. Okay. You know, I was gonna be like, y'all have no shame. Y'all just out on the internet saying this. And then I'm sitting here. Fucking Call of Duty wall beside me. Fucking Don May behind me. And I'm like, I can't say anything, actually. Oh my god. Yo, I'm about to get roasted. Like, I just, listen, I'm not on BookTok, I'm not buying these books, but I still feel like I'm being roasted.
Give me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this, because it is so good.
I regret to inform you that there is a
God.
new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners.
I'm reading what I read.
No! Yo, we're not getting through this video anytime soon. I'm crying. Oh my god, listen. Listen. This is the kind of shit I sent to the wives chat all the time. We send this kind of stuff to the wives chat because that's all we're reading. Oh, hi Abby. Speaking of, Abby can confirm.
you unaware, Gooner is internet slang for someone addicted to porn. And smut is slang for dark romance novels, otherwise known as porn.
Am I stupid? I would argue that's not what smut means. Like, it is like porn, but dark romance? Is that what that means? Because I've definitely read some that were not dark at all. What? What?
Correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships, and most men know the material they can.
In the wife chat, Chelsea's gonna be setting up a book club like she. No. I run what is affectionately called, in my little circles, the Yowie Pyramid Scheme. Because I'm a white woman that lives in the South, and if there's one thing we can do, it's run an MLM. It's not a book club.
Assume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their browser history. That is why they go incognito mode. But these bitches freak their smut openly in bookstores. They proudly pose in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions and get choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking. Shoe, isn't this—
They go to anime conventions and they let that one dude from JJK grab their ponytail while they kneel on the grounds. You know what I'm talking about.
the pot calling the kettle degenerate? Yes. Yes, it is. But have you considered it takes one to truly know one? You see, women are strange, fascinating creatures.
First of all, everybody is strange. It's the internet. Everyone's weird on the internet, okay? Don't come for me. Quit coming for me. Quit calling me out. I've done nothing to you. I'm just living my little life, watching your videos, and sometimes they bum me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes they bum me out a little bit, but like that's just the state of the world that we live in currently. But you know, I generally enjoy your videos, and I watch them, and I react to them, and I'm like, yeah, where's the VTuber sandwich? I didn't ask to be called out in 4K, Shoe. I didn't ask for this. What? I'm just minding my own business. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm sharing my interests with my close friends, and you know, sometimes they don't like them, and I'm like, okay, and so I'm like, here's from this other thing that you did like, because we're friends, and I love you, and I want you had to have something to read while you're, I don't know, on a cruise or some shit. Whatever you do in your spare time. What did I do? I did nothing. I did nothing. Why? Okay.
Centuries men have tried to figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides and the moon. We bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are truly mysterious, magical creatures. But one of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women are not like those disgusting moids. No, we are sophisticated. We are evolved. We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about—
Anyway, sorry.
We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. It's different, okay? You don't understand.
It's more imaginative and descriptive, okay? Sometimes you gotta put the book down or the tablet down. Kata Titans? Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate you. Apparently I can't read. Okay, anyway. Sometimes you have to put your tablet or your book or your whatever down, and you have to, like, physically try to act out whatever the fuck they're doing, because you're like, that can't be physically possible. What is that? What is that? And so you get a mirror out, and you're like, okay, what did it say? Okay. And then you try to do it, and you're like, no. If nothing else, this is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done. Why would anyone do this? Anyway.
It's okay when we do it. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of—
Why do you think we go to freaking Pilates and, like, yoga? I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I'm too lazy to do that, so I would rather do compound weightlifting or just wandering around in my neighborhood in the middle of the night when the cats are out, so I can try to pet them. But like, you know, other people do it.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster.
Can I be honest? Okay, so it was like, oh, it's female Gooners. Okay, I don't know why. I didn't immediately think, like, oh shit, this is gonna be about book talk and, like, smut. Bro, what? I didn't put that together. I was like, okay, this is gonna be like, you know how sometimes Shoe reads, like, clips? Like the whole, like, female loneliness epidemic, male loneliness epidemic, or, like, people being weird on the internet. I thought it was just gonna be, like, the one cougar video I watched that made all of you decide that you were the whippersnappers and I was a cougar. Like, okay. I thought it was gonna be like that, except, like, people, like, girls, like, saying weird, thirsty, weird shit to, like, men's gym pictures or something, and then not handling rejection well or something. I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of what I thought was about to happen. Instead, I'm being roasted. And, like, I'm like, okay, great, thanks, all right, cool. This is fine. My face isn't red. I'm not having a little bit of it's really hot in here. I don't know. Maybe I should turn on my fan. It's hot. It's warm. Yep.
And the recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster. Let's take a break from all this depressing political news and talk about something silly. Not that those political things aren't important, trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics and the news when you can. I know it can be difficult to do, but fear not. I have an app for that. So before we get into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to our sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers an easy way to read news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias that
Sorry, I just had to get one of my hair sticks because it's like it's hot. I'm sweating in here. I don't know if it's because I'm being called out or what. Like
helps you understand the full story and makes sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features on Ground News is the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the political aisle and ignored by the other. For example, here's a story about how Gavin Newsom is signing a bill to give 800,000 Uber and Lyft drivers in California the right to unionize. Pretty cool. Rare Newsom W. 12 news sources covered this, 7 were left-wing and 0 were right-wing, because the right is covering a far more important topic. Harvard hires drag performer Lahore Vagistan as a visiting professor.
I love drag names. Some of them are just so off the wall. I love them.
21 news sources covered this, 20 were right-wing.
It's not that I'm getting hot and bothered, it's that I'm panicking.
1 was left-wing. A country divided. Ground News also makes it very easy to compare headlines, so you could see how political bias completely reframes a story. For example, talking about how Trump has been posting a bunch of those sombrero memes, and the New York Post says, White House official behind Trump's hilarious meme war on Dems revealed. And then a left-wing outlet covers the same story, like, as the shutdown continues, a checked-out Trump posts childish memes. Wildly different vibes going on here. I've been using Ground News since 2021. It is one of my favorite apps. Like, it is my go-to, like, when I wake up. I, like, check Twitter, and then I check Ground News, like, immediately. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent—
Babe, it's a different kind of person that starts off their day with that. I'm gonna be honest. I cannot start off my day with that. I do check Twitter, but my Twitter is just like, you know, random VTuber stuff. That Twitter. The one I check. Anyway.
way to stay informed of avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. And it's only $5 a month, which is like basically the price of a coffee nowadays. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code here on screen, or use the link in the video description. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right.
Despite the fact that you made a whole video roasting me, I did not skip it. Thank you.
So let's get back to the video. Book Talk is a very interesting place, and any book fans out there know how it has absolutely destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop.
I'm sorry, are we gonna pretend like the romance section hasn't existed in every bookstore and library forever? Like, we're just gonna pretend like that's not a thing? It's a thing! We're just not as quiet about it anymore. That's all that changed. We decided to talk about it. We were like, fuck it, hey, this is what we're reading, okay? That's what probably happened. Also, I feel like it's just viral marketing, to be honest. I do think a lot of it is just like a viral marketing kind of scheme almost. I feel like that's what a lot of them start with, and then it just like picks up because yeah.
Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good the characters are. No, they are rated by the spice. And what does spice mean? Porn. It means porn. Spice level is very important to book talkers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read? How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice, spice, spice. And the spiciest book going viral on Book Talk lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt. Oh my god! She's just like me!
Wait, hold on.
Educated and drowning.
Mid-20s. Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Shoe0nHead Chelzor is about to make a 1,000-page response to this shoe video.
No, I'm gonna I'm gonna make an hour-long reaction video to it. Thanks for the bits, though. God.
She's just like me! On the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek, she has no choice but to grab it with both hands.
Grab at it.
Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed.
First of all, listen, $20 is $20. Like, in this economy? Like, I get it. Like, man, yep. That sounds very good. I'm sure there is a catch because it is too good to be true.
There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef. Oh god, with the manly meaty endowments to okay.
Okay, every single one of you that are like, hey, read one of your smutty fan fictions. We'll watch that or whatever. And I'm like, no, I can't. Like, first of all, I feel weird about like reading out like someone else's work or whatever. But also, I couldn't get through it. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Okay. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef with the manly meaty endowments to match. Manly and meaty. All right. Milking minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option, but she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I have a question for you. You know how we can inseminate cows? That's like a thing cow farmers do, which means somebody's got to be getting something from the bulls, okay? I just feel like it's not that off, and we just don't think about it, right? But they just decided to put a fucking minotaur instead of just a regular bull into it, like, you know? Like, and then probably do people stuff, like monster fucking, all right? Like, is that not something that already kind of happens? Like, only without the smut? Like... Maybe y'all just aren't thinking about things, and people are taking that as an opportunity. You know, I'm just saying.
Oh, God. with the manly, meaty endowments to. Okay.
Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and toxic masculinity. In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually the tingling sensation of a Marxist revolution.
That's gotta be a bit. That has to be a bit. I don't believe that it's not a bit. I cannot continue my day if I believe that that is not a bit. Like, it has to be a bit or the day is over. Like... Sometimes we just like to read spicy things, okay? What the fuck?
This is every fucking breadtube video to me, dude. This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and I'm not gonna lie. The 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia.
Big Pharma. Okay, here's my question. But what is the quality of the writing? Because you're like, oh, come on, listen. Again, I read a lot of fan fiction. Some of it, pristine writing. I'm not fucking with you. Pristine. Immaculate. Beautiful writing. Puts all the books that you've had to read for school to shame. Immaculate writing, immaculate world building, even though it's freaking fan fiction, so the world has already been built. They expand upon it. I don't know, it's amazing. If the writing is shit, I'm not reading it. Straight up. I'm just not. It's wasting my fucking time. There's too many good writers out there for me to read slop. 100% not gonna do it. So what is the quality of the writing, okay? Because I'm a little snooty when it comes to my smut, all right?
Where they harvest Minotaur milk to make Viagra for human males. And I read the whole thing. Probably gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here, like, selling feet pics or something. What I do is far more dignified.
How long do I read? It really depends. You can generally read it, like, figure it out in, like, the first, like, paragraph. Because it's, like, first of all, how is it formatted? How is it... God, I'm gonna get... This video is gonna be so long. How is it formatted? Like, if it is all just one fucking paragraph with no page breaks, I'm out. If the punctuation is fucked up, I'm out. Like, unless they're like, sorry for any mistakes, English isn't my first language, then you gotta give it a little bit more time, okay? It's not just a glance. But if there are no page breaks, I can't read it. I'm not gonna read just a fucking wall of text, okay? There's gotta be page breaks. And then it's just like, how they write, like the words they choose, like how like it flows, that kind of stuff. You can figure it out in like the first like paragraph, if there is a paragraph, if it doesn't start with just like quote unquote verbal talking, I don't know, quotes, I guess, or a conversation. But you can figure it out pretty quickly whether or not it's good. And then sometimes it takes a little longer because the characterizations will be kind of off. Not necessarily like sometimes the characterization is off based off like the original context of the work, right? So like Call of Duty or Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. It's like that's not how they act. That's not what that character is. I'm kind of out. Sometimes the characterizations will be off later in the thing based on what they wrote at the beginning, because some of these go on for like months or years or whatever, and it's like, oh, I feel like you have made different decisions about this character like 12 chapters in, and now they act completely different than what their motivations were before, and I don't like that, and I'm gonna leave. If that makes any, like, dialogue, thank you. Verbal talking is in dialogue, sorry. I don't words good, which is why I don't write them. That makes any sense. It just kind of depends.
And normal. Now, let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and ball. point, she says the term, and I quote,
Hold on, I'm sorry. Do I skim to find the saucy paragraph? I'm going to be honest, sometimes I skim the saucy paragraph if I feel like it's going on too long. Like, if it's just like, okay, the sex scene is like, the lead up to it's really good, but then the actual scene is just kind of like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Sometimes my brain will be like, just skip it. And I'll be like, yeah, we're just gonna skip this part. I don't read a lot of stuff that doesn't have plot to it. Like, occasionally I will. If it's, like, immaculate writing, occasionally I will. But for the most part, I don't read stuff that doesn't have plot to it. So, believe it or not.
the seam of his sack. So I'm reading this, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, he probably has, like, a human head, right? He probably, like, looks something like this. Like, you know, just a dude with, like, horns. Then I see the
Shoe0nHead's not a monster fucker.
The official artwork.
Uh-huh.
That's a cow.
Yep.
Bro is a cow. Bro is a straight up cow.
Yep.
In a few parts, they're being intimate, and it will be like, his hooves clip-clopped. My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, he's what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God, it was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing the shit and you're just like, that's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau.
These characters are not... Wait, hold on. The Barbeau scale? Whatever. These characters, non-human creatures. These characters are not human, do not look humans, and have few humanoid features. Okay, human. These characters are humans without any extra/supernatural abilities or gifts. Human pro! How y'all feel about being a human basic, apparently. Okay, these characters usually look like humans but have non-human gifts or abilities. Shifter, these humans have a human form and a non-human form. Many also have non-human abilities, even in human form. Humanoid creature, these characters are not human and do not look like humans but have mainly humanoid features. Non-humanoid creature, and then what the fuck is that? These characters are not human, do not look like humans, and no humanoid features. Where am I? I'm probably human pro just because I have cat ears and a tail. I assume. Good lord.
Scale here. This is dangerous territory, folks. She also f***ers his ass.
Listen. Listen. How else you gonna get to the prostate, ma'am? I'm gonna throw up. Oh, I'm getting hot again. I'm sorry. She's so disturbed by it. Like, oh my god. Oh shit. Listen, you can do that to your mans too. Nothing's stopping you. Don't gotta be a minotaur in a book, you know?
The cow's ass. By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos, Patreon. Go to Patreon, become a member. All members get an uncensored version of every video, so you can hear me talking about and cow's ass. Anyway, I like how in this fantasy world, student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with minotaurs and humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans. Sad. Oh, and one of those bull rings, like the nose ring.
Capitalism is gonna capitalism, okay? Like, you're never gonna get rid of that. It's a fantasy world with monster guys. You know? Still capitalism. The whole reason she has a job is for capitalism, so...
Theory septum ring. And in this world, that means, like, you're married, but apparently he's divorced. The man is divorced. This is a divorced cow. A cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips.
Okay, hold on. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley, which counted for how infrequently she went anywhere. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smooth and tucked into her wristlet. What do you mean tips? You get tips? They tip you? I mean... Apparently, you know, they're just part of society and getting paid. They're not just like monsters. They're like people that just, you know... Because they're fucking that, and they're also on a date somewhere where they have to pay for their food. They're not like on a picnic. They're just out in public. So, okay.
Smoothed and tucked into her wristlet. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have. Violet. If the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her. The heat of his hand dropping to her knee would have. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts right now. And if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no, you can.
Dude, you go to a farm and get milked. Like, what? What? Okay.
Say you don't want to see me again. You can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story.
I don't understand this universe. I know it's just like one little like snippet. I don't understand.
She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation.
From that alone, I'm not reading this book. First of all, I probably wasn't gonna read it anyway, but like definitely not now. And you're gonna be like, Chelsea, why? Listen, that shit's not immaculate. That is not, nope. That's just, I would read this book and be annoyed. All the time. Like, this is not what I'm talking about good, like, immaculate writing. No offense, this is definitely, like, dime store romance feels, to me. And if you like it, I'm happy for you. It is just... I couldn't get into it.
Inside every woman, there are two wolves. Or two bulls. The strong, independent girl boss and the submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to factory settings.
It's dinner, not a down payment for your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably...
Listen. Listen, okay. What you're attracted to there is the sugar daddy aspect of it. I feel like that is in probably every sugar daddy fucking story ever. Like, some version of literally that quote and the following one is in every sugar daddy related story that exists. Pick one. Like, I don't care. I'm a little confused about the world building because obviously, like, I say obviously, I haven't read it. And so I'm a little confused about the career comment and the society that they live in. I'm going to be 100% with you, but also not enough to actually read it. Because I'm not going to Twilight myself again, okay? Where I just try to read something and just hate it the entire time. So I'm not doing that, but like, again, if you like Twilight, I'm happy for you. You got so many things. Do you have, like, do any of y'all have, like, a fandom that you like? Would you like one? I can give one to you. Yeah, I can give one to you. And then I could give you links to free literature about it. Some of them are within the realm of sugar daddies, okay? Like, some of them are monster fucking. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I can give you things. I can gift this to you. Trust me. I'm a southern white woman. I can run an MLM. It doesn't even take your money. It just takes your time, and you gotta share your hyperfixation with 3 of your friends after it hits. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Okay? You know? Spread the word. You know? This feels really like baby's first monster fucking sugar daddy smut. Like, we've come a long way.
We spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
Clean
Okay.
up aisle 5. So that's what I thought of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1 on Amazon with 21,000 ratings and a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings.
I'm not hating on that. I'm so happy for whoever wrote this. I'm so happy all of you are enjoying it. I'm just saying there's better things out there, okay? This is like babies first. Trust me. Open your eyes. Like, just look around. Just take a look around, okay? Promise. I promise you. Listen. There's better stuff out there.
Let's just read some random ones here. Hear me out. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy.
At the same time, I say all this. At the same time, okay? Sometimes you don't want to think, and you just want to turn your brain off, and you just want that hit of serotonin. I get that too, right? Like, you don't necessarily want to be like fully immersed in the story and the plot and stuff. You just want to read something quick and easy. I get it. I get it. All right.
The spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just gonna be porn. The plot is pretty good. The plot?
Oh my God.
Please. This is like the new, I read Playboy for the articles. Like, sure you do. This book could kill a Victorian child.
This book could kill a Victorian child is amazing. Some people do. Some people legitimately do. Like, they'll buy a book, like a physical book, and they will highlight parts of it that they like. Some people do that. I'm not joking. That is the thing some people do. I don't do that. I've also stopped buying as many physical books in general. I honestly try to affect the book as least amount as possible. And by that, I mean, like, I'm trying not to fold pages or crease things. I get bookmarks, that kind of stuff. I want it in as pristine condition as I can. That's how I deal with my books. That's just me. But like, you know, some people are like that.
5 stars. I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think I'm lactose intolerant now. So that happened. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star, not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter.
God.
1 star, accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation. Gave this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Let's try. Why can't I? Gave this to my mom as
I had not read it at the time. Should I have done that? IDK, but my past is my past.
a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Let's sigh. Why can't human males be more like this?
Buddy. Sugar daddies exist. It is not the kind of situation you probably think it is. It is not as probably pretty or as glorified as, you know, fiction makes it seem. Be safe out there, everybody. What part specifically are you wanting? Legitimately. Because I don't really think you're gonna come across like a like mid-20s or maybe I don't know how old you want your sugar daddy to be. I'm gonna be honest. I've heard and read all sorts of stuff. So maybe you want them in their like 30s or 40s or something, like, right? You want them to be a businessman that is very rich and gonna take care of you or whatever. I don't think it's gonna work out the way you think it does. And like, I just like, what are you trying to hope to get? What are you looking for? It's fantasy for a reason, babes.
Tall, rich, and handsome are no longer enough, boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot-tall creature from Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear from another person about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming. Well, Ronald, man detected. This is for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f*** you watch that is so morally superior than this. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next. If this is what freedom looks like, I'm really rethinking my stance on freedom. Not gonna lie. Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald Trump takes the monster...
Freedom of press! That's totally what this means. We're gonna sit here and pretend like monster fucking hasn't been a thing forever either. Like, we just gonna pretend... There's a lot of, like, Greek mythology stories specifically about Zeus that are very sus. We're just gonna pretend like those don't exist, like, historically. Like, come on. Come on. Come on.
We are going to make 2020 look like a picnic, okay? Bull cock matters. Oh my god. Edit that out. Editor, edit that out.
You're the editor,
Women
babe.
are going to be picking up Animal Farm now, like, where's the horse cock? Some people owe a certain streamer an apology because this book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. Would you like to see them?
Yes.
I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend.
Oh, that one's so basic, actually. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Also basic. The demon summoning boyfriend lover trope thing? Come on.
That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast. Cupcakes for my orc. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast.
Coveted by the orc. I mean, it's less basic, but still kind of up there. I'm gonna be honest.
Cupcakes for
my orc enemy. Sweet monster treats.
My orc enemy. Main of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster. The widow and...
Okay, but how many people?
Main of my existence.
Minimize distance, someone just like Beauty and the Beast a little too much. Gargoyle and the Spinster, someone like Gargoyles too much. And like, listen, did y'all watch that show? Did y'all not ship Girly Pop and the main gargoyle? I'm just saying.
Gargoyle and the Spinster, the Widow and the Orcs, hoarded by the dragon. There's
Oh my fucking god. Now we're getting to dragon fuckers. Do you know how many times? Okay, so I read stuff on AO3 Archive of Our Own. They have a beautiful tagging system. Do you know how many times I'll be reading something and a tag will get added, and and I won't notice that a tag was added, and I'll get to it and I'm like, oh, what? And then I gotta go check, and I was like, oh, they must have added this tag. Do you know how many tags I've had to explain to my friends because I suggested this while it was ongoing and they added a tag, and I have to be like, hey, just to let you know. Like, and then I have to explain what the fuck that tag means. Like, sorry, my mind went out of place when we got to the dragon fucking part.
something about dragons. Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten by the gator. Mated.
Gotten by the gator? I'm just thinking of Croc or what is it? Killer Croc? I'm just thinking about Killer Croc right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I see something and I'm like, like somebody's gonna make that a thing. Like, you know? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I got a problem. Anyway.
Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten by the gator. Mated to the mountain bear. Oh, so this is why they chose the bear. The billionaire orc. Moth manager?
Okay, but everybody wants to fuck Mothman, okay? Mothman apparently got a great ass according to the fucking statue of him, okay? Everybody wants Mothman.
Wolves and whipped cream. The wolf in my tavern. Pounded by produce.
A veggie love tale. First of all, I'm gonna be honest, that kind of looks like a cactus as opposed to like a cucumber to me personally. But like, oh my god. Oh my god. This is a beautiful cover. Oh my god.
So, are these the books the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads finance and sci-fi books, and I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. So the first book that I would like to introduce you to is called Morning Glory Milking Farm, and it's not a normal milking farm like with cows.
Instead of being like, I want you to read this, what you should motherfucking do is to be like, hey, I want to share with you what I've been reading, and you just read it out loud near him. Because what's probably going to happen is he might pay a little bit of attention at first, and then he's going to probably disassociate.
Tier 100 the books the moms were reading while they tried to ban Harry Potter, Pokemon, and such when I was a kid.
Yeah, probably. You just, like, he's gonna disassociate and stop paying attention because that's kind of what happens. It's fine, whatever. And then you're gonna say something that's gonna activate every neuron in that man's brain. Also, thank you for the 100 bits. You're gonna read something that activates every neuron in his brain while he's not actively paying attention. And he's gonna be like, what? You should do that instead.
Pat, pat, pat.
That's way funnier. Okay, that has more payoff. You can't convince me otherwise.
It is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and
Explain nothing, give him the title, start reading.
it's a special type of milking.
See, honey, she's his stepsister, and she got stuck in the washing machine again. Women on TikTok are openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people. All
I can think about is, like, this isn't a beach. This this is a bathtub. Or there's like something about, there's like a lemon, like someone's stealing your lemons. Those are the three I know. The, oh no, stepbrother, help me. I'm stuck in a, was it the washing machine or the dryer? I don't fucking remember. Whatever. The lemon one and like the bathtub one.
When they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok. Best-selling romantasy books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary purposes. But in recent months, book talk has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books. Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over 90% of men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month. There's statistically no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself.
Sure.
What they're gawking at is sex from the perspective of female desire, scenes that depict women coming first and frequently. And what they are surprised by is the women they know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine," but his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up.
I have someone who is very much on the ace spectrum that actively has been in book clubs the entire time I've known her. They're not reading smut. They're reading like best-selling authors' books. I'm not even joking. Some of them like some book clubs out there are probably drinking a bunch of wine and being like, 50 Shades of Grey, but...
Shamrock 300. Speaking of the bathtub one, Pippa, Tenma and Hanya have a funny clip of one of the lines from it.
Good Lord. Thank you for the 300 bits. So, like, sure, some women probably do actively have smutty book clubs or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of them don't. Like, a lot of them probably find these book clubs either through their local libraries or, like, through their churches or whatever. And it's just a social thing of all ages. Because I think my friend was, like, one of the youngest ones in that book club, and they just would go and read, like, best-selling books. But, you know, sure.
Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up. Imagine a group of men sitting around drinking wine, discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? It's funny. That makes me a sexist and misogynist.
No, it's funny. I'm pretty sure it's kind of supposed to be a little funny or something like that. I don't know. Is it not? I mean, it's maybe to the monster fuckers it's not. I don't know. It's funny, though, to me. Like, change the wine to beer and have them argue about boobs. Y'all getting together and arguing about your favorite VTubers and which one's the hottest? Anyway, is that what y'all are doing? Or would you rather? Listen, do you want me to get into the nitty gritty of why monster fuckers? Like, cause like, I'm pretty sure it has, like, the appeal to it is, like, he's so strong, he could hurt me so easily, but he has to, like, be very careful with me and be very mindful of how he treats me and how much strength he uses and, like, all this. It's like that kind of thing. It's like a weird control kind of thing. And, like, and it's like they're paying attention to me and they know they could hurt me, but they're doing everything to not hurt me and they don't hurt me. That's attractive, I'm just saying. The fact, not the whole thing, like, the whole thing's kind of attractive, I guess, but, like, the whole situation of, like, being treated delicately and not getting hurt. That's attractive. And I mean this in normal relationships too. I'm not going to get in the nitty gritty of, like, sexual education, but sometimes it doesn't feel good. Okay. Like, you can get hurt. It can hurt. So having, like, a partner that is being very mindful of specifically you and not just rushing for their own gratification is attractive. Just saying.
You got me. To act like you are so different and above the other Gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but you are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting there all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because you can perfectly envision a horse spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these—
Lurid? Someone look that up. What does lurid mean? Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Lurid sounded pretentious to me. So, lurid, very vivid in color, especially so as to create an unpleasantly harsh or unnatural effect. Of a description presented in vividly shocking or sensual terms, vividly shocking or sensational terms, especially giving explicit details of crimes or sexual matters. Quote, the more lurid details of the massacre were too frightening for the children. Okay, listen. Sorry, it sounded pretentious, and I was like, okay, sure. Had to look it up.
Nodding, a popular term in romantasy right now that involves and have clear limits on these videos point out. There is much wilder aren't myself including degrees in your mind.
Sorry, I accidentally fucked up, so I'm fixing it.
I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these videos point out, there's much wilder stuff out there.
Yeah.
For example, these men have clearly not yet discovered nodding, a popular term in—
These men don't know about the Omegaverse. Listen, if they're so upset about this milking farm thing, let me tell you, some of the shit that I read will probably make you be that Victorian children that would just keel over. Like, let me completely destroy your entire worldview. You're gonna not trust women ever again. Like,
romantasy right now that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides.
It's not always werewolves, babe.
Oh, honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy. That's just a thing real dogs do.
Yeah.
You just don't get it. You don't know what knotting is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to that?
Well, yeah, what you gotta do, by the way, you gotta make, okay, when someone's like, I'm an alpha male, or that's a beta male, or like, whatever, you gotta start talking to them in Omegaverse terms. Like, you just gotta be like, like, you just gotta make them horrendously, like, question everything, and maybe go Google something later. And then have their whole worldview shifted. Do it. Do it. Or just ask them if that's a furry thing. I don't have any issues with furries. I run a anime convention, whatever. But you know, like a dude bro. I would prefer the whole like Omegaverse thing. Make them Google some stuff to understand what you're talking about later. You'll live in that man's head forever.
Stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing, going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy. What happened to that? We used to make fun of that. We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy.
This isn't a new thing. They're just louder on the internet now. It's becoming more mainstream. It's not new. It's been around for a while.
Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared to the shit the average woman on TikTok is reading. At least Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure, she's not like those other girls, like, going—
And she's not gonna argue with you. Or stand up for herself. Anyway.
Out clubbing and hooking up with random men. No. She's at home, curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book. Except that book is about f***ing a half man, half bull. The quiet nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close. The average hoe might have a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong.
It's at least 100 bodies. What you gotta worry about is not necessarily what she's fantasizing about with other creatures. You have to be worried about what she's reading and what she might want to do to you, buddy. You know?
Wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong with role play. You know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your stepsister, right? These women are not actually going to bang a cow. Or at least I hope not. We all know there is a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well, you get Sinners and Stardust.
Listen, I don't know what it is, but the rise of events that are 18 plus only lately. Has anyone noticed any 18 plus events being created in their, like, community nearby? Because, like, I've got I think one's already happened. 2 18 plus, like, anime style conventions and, like, some other stuff. There's apparently book talk conventions. Like, it's on the rise, which is it's a little wild to me, but also, like, whatever, man. Like, sure, dude, like, you do you. I may or may not go check one of them out just to see what's going on. Sounds really bad. It sounds a little sus. But, like, I run conventions. I want to see how they run their conventions. I go to other conventions to see what they're doing. That's the thing I do. But, like, I feel like 18 plus events are on the rise right now. Yep, that tracks. Pyramid Head? Yeah. Yeah, that shit again, it's not new. Monster fucking is not new. They're just talking about it publicly on TikTok now.
What?
People aren't hiding it anymore. They're not like, oh, my shameful secret. I mean, fuck, I'm telling you guys I read fan fiction. Like, I got a Call of Duty wall. I've never played Call of Duty, by the way. Just, like, it's whatever. Sexy cosplay is also nothing new. Like, alright.
In the eyes wide shut is going on here. Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right? Maybe, if you're a woman. If you're a man, the night may have gone a little differently for you. Alright y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent? Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick? Hello? Do we think it's
I'm gonna be mean here. This is one of the things that I have kind of reservations about 18 plus events. Where some people get in their heads like, well, everyone's an adult. First of all, at events anyway, this isn't even 18 plus events. This is just true. At an event, convention, gala, whatever, for some reason, people get into their heads that, like, not only do laws not apply anymore, like, sometimes physics doesn't apply. Like, we've had stuff with, like, people throwing mattresses out of hotel room windows or off hotel room balconies and then jumping down after thinking they're going to land on the mattress and survive that experience. They don't. But that's happened multiple times. People throwing chairs off balconies, hitting somebody, injuring them. Like, people just get like, I can do anything. I can go grab someone's ass just randomly, just cause. Like, no, like, you can't do that shit. You're still on it. No. Laws still apply. You can't just go around, like, assaulting people. Like, that's, what the fuck? But people get in their minds for some reason, like, I can do anything I want here. No, you can't. You will get the cops called on you. I hesitate with 18 plus events. Like, you can have 18 plus things at your event, don't get me wrong. But, like, a pure, like, this is only for adults, I feel like would make the situation maybe a little worse. But again, I don't run an event like that, so I don't know. Also, all the examples that I have given have not happened at my event, at least not that I know of. Those have happened at other events that are significantly bigger than my event. Yeah, and then you have, like, a situation where, like, a lot of them are, like, drinking. Like, one of those things did happen at, like, say, Dragon Con. Specifically, the chair one. The chair one where they were throwing chairs down into, like, the crowd or something. Or, like, just throwing chairs over the side of the railing or whatever, and it hit somebody. That did happen at, like, Dragon Con one year. The person was injured. Like, it did hit somebody. They were injured, but they are okay. Like, it wasn't, like, a life-threatening injury. But, like, there's a lot of drinking happening at Dragon Con. Dragon Con is basically an adult convention. It's not. You can be any age and go. Just the general age group that goes is older, and they're drinking a lot. And, like, that's fine, but you do have, like, people who just, like, kind of lose it because they're drunk, right? So, it's just... Shouldn't mention con names. Well, I mean, like, that one wasn't super bad. But it does happen. So, I would be, like, really kind of hesitant about, like, an 18 plus specific event. First of all, I'd be hesitant in general, but I'm paranoid, so I don't know.
Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick. Hello? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and, you know, that shit is fiction, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another follow him.
This shit is fiction. Trash talk my books to him and try to get him to join in. I guess join in trash talking. I don't know. Then attempt to follow him when he tries to get the fuck away. He had sweat-resistant black paint airbrushed on his chest and was told the only thing that will move it is body oils. Why did this man end the night with almost all of it rubbed off and a handprint smeared across his chest?
When he tries to get away. And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an air tag was tracking him, which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy into tracking him.
He knows how air tags work and that close by ones can trigger notifications. This was not the case. Also, he got the notification later because he had no signal at the event and it didn't come through until he got signal again. That is literally sickening, and I'm ill that someone might have planted a tracking device on him. This is what I'm talking, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? None of this is okay. Like, none of that is remotely okay. Also, like, air tags don't really give you, like, they give you, like, a general area. I mean, like, once you get close to where the air tag is, it will do, like, a countdown. Not like, oh, you're so many feet away, but it's a pretty small area, to be honest. I mean, if you, like, know he's going to be in X hotel, you can go up and down each fucking floor and try to do that. But, like, either way, don't air tag people. It's weird. this isn't okay. This is disgusting, actually. Just, like, super disgusting, really.
Which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety. And then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel. This poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef. I remember years ago, there was this thing called cosplay is not consent. Basically, it was a campaign to bring attention to the fact that people at conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope and grab them without their consent. Yeah.
Here's the thing. First of all, a lot of the cosplay consent stuff started disappearing because it got copywritten by a company. There was like some pushback about that. I think they kind of released the copyright or were like, oh, you can use it, whatever. But that did happen. 2, that's within anime specific communities or like anime kind of conventions or like just cosplay style conventions in general. This gala, this book talk gala is not going to have, it will have some people, right, that probably go to conventions. This is not a convention, and it's definitely going to have people that don't necessarily go to conventions. So they're not going to have that, like, con etiquette thing or knowledge, right? Because I really feel like a lot of the people that cause issues at, like, cons and events and stuff don't have the etiquette down because they don't go to that many of them or they don't pay attention to, like, what the vibe is or, like, what, you know, what's okay, that kind of stuff. So I really feel like you're going to have... you're gonna have normies there that don't, quote unquote normies. I shouldn't call them normies because, like, in my mind it's like people that don't go to conventions, but like because I'm a convention runner and that's usually what we talk about. But like they're not necessarily normies, quote unquote, but like people that don't have convention etiquette or like that kind of stuff or have been in this culture, right? They don't have convention culture. They don't have how you're supposed to act about cosplayers or people that are dressing up and stuff. They don't have this concept because they don't go to conventions, so they don't know, right? So because it's not it's about books, right? That anyone can read. And this is the first time this event has happened, and I'm sure the people running the event didn't really think or expect that kind of stuff to happen there because these should all be adults, right? And they should all know how to act in public by now. Jesus.
Apparently we have to bring that back because these women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together, y'all. When the furries are calling you out for being freaks, you need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong. Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged.
Yeah, like also just because you're in a space that's all one gender over another, you can still get like, kind of like essayed or like, you know, inappropriately touched or whatever. Like that could still happen. It doesn't matter. Like there's definitely some people out there that need to figure out how to act in public. And like the issue, right, is when you're in, the thought is I'm in a big crowd, I'm not going to get caught. Like that is why they are like that, which is very annoying. Like it just kind of sucks. It is essay, I know, but like I don't know, you know, YouTube and Twitch and stuff, TOS. But like the thought is I'm anonymous here, right? Except there's cameras everywhere, there's people watching you, there's people around you. Don't be a shithead. All right? You're in public. Even if you weren't in public, first of all, just don't do that. Don't do essay related stuff. Like, just don't. Don't be a shithead. But, like, that's the thought of it, right? And I just feel like it gets, I don't know. They feel like laws and rules and shit don't apply for some reason. Every time they go to an event, laws and rules don't apply to me anymore. Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
Away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote, my words did nothing.
Okay, wait. Sinners was phenomenal, and I loved meeting everyone. However, can we please respect an author's boundaries? I was groped multiple times at the ball. I was dragged away from my friends, and no matter how many times I said no, my words did nothing. As soon as I left, I couldn't stop crying. Please respect boundaries and consent. I remember going to, like, convention raves with my friends, and we'd be like in a little circle dancing, and like a dude would come out of nowhere and like try to shove between us and like rub up all on all of us, and we would all just take a step back, completely stand stock still like a fucking statue, and just stare at him like until he went away. And this would happen multiple times. like people just, not everybody's into whatever you're trying to do. In fact, if it's like this and you're just like being grabby hands, like, no. Just don't know. Just no.
May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay? For books. Literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this.
Yes, because BDSM has rules and boundaries. For like safety reasons, like that's part of the culture of BDSM, right? So if you go to a BDSM like convention, like I would like to think there's still like understanding of rules and boundaries, and like don't just play grabby hands, like, you know? These people have never been to an event like this. They do not understand the culture, so they think anything goes, for whatever reason. They're like, oh, we all read smut. We're all here for smutty times. And it's like, no, we're not. What are you doing? Like, absolutely the fuck not. We're not here for, like, an orgy. Calm the fuck down.
To be more studies on how this stuff affects women's brains, because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Ivy Lipton, a doctoral candidate in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for EV magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so I trust her. Your brain on orgasm.
I mean, she did look good in that picture, I'm just saying.
Orgasms isn't neutral. Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities, your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that. It's not empowerment, it's neuroplasticity at its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image to spite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood. So it stands to reason that porn for men is visual and porn for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels, because one is a video of two people actually having real sex, and the other is, well, just words on paper. I am, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by Gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase, is reading smut harmful? Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful? In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear that line of thinking is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating monster smut with these things, but there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual violence is not healthy. Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. It's a pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You know, you start watching Shoe0nHead, owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025, you're hailing Hitler, right? You know, the alt-right pipeline. And this one's like, you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right? Just say no. Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Like,
I already told you.
See the opposite, and when you do,
I already explained it.
it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs, or like a 10-foot tall
Cat ears. Hoomst. Who would like that?
Old dommy mommy vampire with giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to the pollution monster from Fern Gully.
Listen. Okay, hear me out. What was his name? It wasn't Smut. What the fuck? Hexus. It had little to do with how Hexus looked and the fact that he was voiced by Tim Curry and he had a... Go listen to that first song when he appears. Like, go listen to that. Like, I'm straight up. I'm straight up. Go listen to that fucking song, okay? Like, go listen to Toxic Love. Like, that's why. It's not about what he looked like. I promise you.
So people on Reddit asked this very question. Let's see the responses. Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. One,
I mean, some people, it might, like, he wasn't so grotesque, right? So, like, some people could be, it's a little bit how he looked like. I think it was mostly Tim Curry. I'm gonna be honest.
human men are quite often terrible. Romance books with human men are already partly fantasy, but monsters just takes the fantasy bit further. 2, it's sort of human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures. We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol. 3, unique body forms / parts and so many different kinds of dicks. Scary, mean, terrifying creature, is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle, etc.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. This. It's also why, like, you know, mafia romance is a thing. We're like, oh, he's in the mafia. He's like a mafia don or whatever. Like, it's the same. It's very similar.
Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women, etc., etc. Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men.
Hold on. No, I want to read all of what that girlie said. Could you go back? Could you? Thank you. I've almost exclusively read fantasy as well, even before I started with romance. Still, non-human MMCs, besides the vampires, are pretty new to me, but Morning Glory Milking Farm and Homebound fixed that real quick. Sure, baby.
Life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women, etc., etc. Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men. As a fat woman of color, modern, contemporary, and even fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic, and romance in real life is not always attainable for fat women / women of color. In monster alien romance, though, my size doesn't matter, and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe haven, if that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped cocks. I love some bizarre peen. Unique genitalia. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly.
I don't know what you were expecting either, babe. I'm gonna be honest. Listen, there's something like I just wanna put this out there, okay? As someone who's in the VTubing space, and something I want people to realize: as a society, which we are entertained by drama. Do you know how you can tell? Because we have always cared about it. We watch shows, we listen to songs, like all this other stuff. Like, we watch plays or operas or whatever. We like drama. We like watching it. We like listening to it. We like reading it. It's entertaining to us. Doesn't matter what the drama is. We like watching it or like absorbing it, right? We're human beings, and that's what entertains us, is drama, okay? Period. Hard stop there. There's different kinds of drama, obviously. Some of the drama is relationship drama, right? Interesting, like, clash of cultures, clash of apparently a unique genitalia. All that adds to the drama. There's also just like fantasy. Like, we like fantasy, right? Like, we like to fantasize about stuff. We like magic and stuff like that, right? So, like, I don't think it's weird, to be honest. Like, not really. You like what you like, you're into what you're into. At the end of the day, it is drama with some extra little pieces of flavor thrown in some way, shape, or form. Like, first of all, okay, drama as a base, a story. Throw fantasy in there. That's an extra layer to the sandwich. Okay, let's add romance. Sure. Okay, but let's make the main love interest a monster. Great. Now you have a 4-layer sandwich, because drama is your base layer. It's your bread. And then you have fantasy, romance, monster. Like, that's it. Like, that's you're just adding layers to your little drama sandwich for you to enjoy at the end of the day.
A lot of women's smut, especially monster smut, is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized in modern society. But the truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monsters in these stories have those, like, dominant masculine traits that women like so much, but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire without the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop. But they don't just want a wild dominant man. They want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an art hoe with a nose ring, you can save her from her daddy issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Go.
It definitely will turn out exactly how you think it's going to.
For it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for, like, danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see,
it's also... So sorry, hold on. There you go. It's also important to note that just reading this stuff is safe. You can stop at any time. You can walk away from it. You're not put in danger yourself. Like, you can fantasize about it, but you're not in any kind of danger yourself because you're just reading this. And again, you could put it up whenever you want and walk away. So...
You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but he won't because he's nice and he loves me. But honestly, at the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl in a wheelchair where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like, you wanna rape a disabled girl? When in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman and save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing this and they're saying, what do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they're basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, you know? But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something. Maybe it's not that
get in the cuck chair.
deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for minotaur p***ness. Yeah, that's the moral of this video.
Listen. You're making the dude bros uncomfortable. Okay, that's what's happening. Like, maybe quit talking about it publicly. Or don't. I don't give a shit. Do what you want to do. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. Like, just like, I'm not gonna... Listen. I am not going to read any of the stuff that I read out loud to you guys. I refuse to do that. I also could not get through it. I'm gonna be 100% with you. I do have some shame. I could not. My anxiety would never let me. But like, It's more than just the dude bros. People, like, listen, there are some people out there that are not comfortable talking about sex. They're not comfortable talking about sexuality. They're not comfortable talking about the stuff that they read or some stuff that they watch or whatever. It's fine. Like, some people are just not into that. It's honestly fine. Like, if you're just not comfortable, just be like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this conversation. And if the person is mature, and depending on the situation, like, you can't interrupt like two people having a conversation. Like, you walk up from nowhere and just be like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. Like, you can, depending on, like, if they're your friends. Maybe don't do that to strangers. They'll be like, okay, well, you can excuse yourself. But, like, you know, if, like, your friend just randomly starts talking to you about sex things, you can be like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this. And if they're your friend and mature, they should be like, okay. But, like, you can also see yourself out of those situations. Like, you can just be like, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm just gonna leave. Let me know if the subject changes, or I'll see you later. Like, that is 100% a thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, be adults. Be mature about the situation. It's okay to feel uncomfortable about it. It's okay not to want to be in those spaces. Just don't be in those spaces. Like, that's it. It's just don't interact with that stuff. Right? Like, I have, as much as I joke about reading a lot of smut and stuff like that, I have friends who, I mentioned I had a friend that was, like, fully, like, ace. She's not into that kind of stuff. So I actually have multiple friends that are like that. If I find something that is, like, immaculately written, but there is some seamy scenes in it, I will send it to them and be like, hey, just to let you know, there is some, like, smut in this. You can skip it. Or, like, you know, there's some smut in this, just to let you know, but the rest of the story is really good. I've talked to them about it and been like, hey, like, I've suggested things in a group chat. I don't know if you guys read them. And they're like, yeah, I just skipped the part where it's, like, they're having sex. Like, I just skipped that part. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's totally legitimate, right? You know, it's okay. Like, and, you know, if you're on Book Talk and you like to read spicy content, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to think. Listen. Once again, we like drama. Sometimes we just want to turn our brains off and enjoy something. It's like cheap entertainment, okay? Legitimately. That's okay too, right? I mean, you guys are watching me, so I get it. So it's whatever. Sometimes we don't want to have to think. We just want to enjoy content. There are definitely some movies that I go see and I'm like, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of why this is a technically bad movie. Did I enjoy myself at the end of the day? Yes or no? I'm not going to sit there and pick it apart and be like, these things bothered me. Like, hey, it was a nice experience and I didn't really pay attention to any of the glaring plot holes or anything because I don't really care at the end of the day. It's okay. You can just enjoy things. You know.
What do you guys think? What is your theory? Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest hear me out? Be honest. I don't want to hear no Lola Bunny, okay? You all know mine already. It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has an energy, okay? He has a vibe.
It's vibes. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
Vibe. You know what? Never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon with a...
You know what my hear me out is? It's a concept. It is like the relationship that is written by some of the fandom for specifically one couple within the fan fictions I read. Like, their relationship dynamic. Like, it's not a person. I don't want to be between them. Like, I don't want to be involved in them. But the dynamic is great. Like, The Hat Man? No, I don't want the Hat Man. What the fuck is the Hat Man? Hold on.
Shelzor, a true scholar and degree holder of smut English literature that colleges will not recognize and would win a Hugo Award Shoe0nHead.
Absolutely not. Thanks for the 100 bits. No, because what the fuck is the Hat Man doing in my house? I don't care how many Benadryl I took. Why the fuck are you in my house? Okay? Who invited you here? I most certainly didn't. What the fuck? No. Not the Hat Man. How dare you be in my house, Hat Man?
New video.
Bye. There is a thing. Okay. The Hat Man shows up if you take too many antihistamines. And he wants his money.
I love how the f***ing Bowl Man is a progressive, by the way. He's a feminist. He voted for Hillary. He would have voted for Obama 3 times if he could.
Good for Hat Man. Jesus. Not Hat Man, Bull Man? Minotaur.